In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Quizizz and some of the features so you can get started with it right away. If you've never logged in, you will need to click sign up first in the upper right corner. And you can sign up with your work account, your sign up with Google. And make sure that when you do that, you select teacher, because I made the mistake of clicking student, and then I had to create a different account. So I don't want that to happen to any of you, so make sure you click teacher if you are a teacher. Teachers have the ability to host games. Students can have accounts and they can create games, but they can't host the games. So once you're signed in, it takes you to a very similar homepage as before you sign in. You're going to want to go ahead and click Teacher Dashboard. And that will take you to a screen where you have a list of different things you can do along the left-hand side. So you can create a new quiz. It'll show you your list of quizzes, reports from those quizzes, your different classes, different collections, different memes. And a good place to start is to just by searching for a quiz. So I'm going to search for one, and it's giving me the option of number talk. So let's go for that. And it's telling me right now that the English filter is applied. I can choose grade levels. I'm going to go with elementary. And let's see if we can find one that we like. Numbers and number words. That's kindergarten first. That one is a great one. So I'm going to go ahead. If I hover over it, if I hover over any of these, it will show me a sample of, show me what the questions look like over here on the right-hand side. So I could scroll through all of them. I can see that this one has 19 questions. It tells me that right here. I could play it from here, or I can like it or save it. So I'm going to go ahead and like it, and I'm going to save it. So it's asking me to save it to a collection. I only have one collection right now, and that's math. So I'm going to go ahead and save that to math. That works out well. Now, if I wanted to just play this one right away, or any of these, I could click play from the right-hand side. So this was the one I said I liked, the numbers and number words. I can go ahead and click play, and I could play it live, or I could assign it as homework, or I could play it alone. Those are my three options. Playing live, you will need to share out the join code. So if I clicked host a game, I will need to share this code with anybody who wants to play. The other option is assigning it as homework. So if you assign it as homework, you're going to want to have a class set up. So let's jump to that real quick. Over on the left-hand side, if I hit classes. Now this is where being a Google for Education district is really powerful and really helpful, because I've already set these up to align with my Google classes. So I could update my Google classes. And if I wanted to add one more, I can add this one. And maybe I want to eliminate this one here. I can hit save. So I want to use this classroom training. This one has 3 students in it. On this class, I have 3 students currently listed. And it's showing me that the parent or guardian hasn't accepted the invite, but that's not an issue for this game. So now if I go back to my collections, I can look at the math quizzes I have. I can click the one I'd already found. I could assign as homework. And it says learners should complete this quiz by, and I can set the date and time, which is it's always 1 day and 1 hour ahead from when you assign it. I can click host game, or I can assign it to a class. I'm going to go ahead and assign it to this class. And I'm going to call this sample quizzes. You can also schedule it with the different type of assignment that it is, and when the game should start. So I could say it'll start at 1 p.m., which is almost an hour from now. I go ahead and click next. And once I'm done, I can change a few settings, how many attempts the students get, showing the games. These are all the default answers. I like all of these, so I'm going to leave these the same for this game. And you can even change the memes if you want different funny pictures after each question. I feel like it picks good ones, so I'm going to go ahead and just click Assign Game. So it says this quiz has been assigned to Google Classroom. Your students will be notified on Google Classroom and their Quizizz accounts. So they can join using the game code. So it's been assigned. Once you're done, so after that day's over, it will expire. But you also, if you realize you posted the wrong one, you could click End Game. And you can also monitor how students are doing. It will also you can view the quiz and you can look at flashcards. So students can look at flashcards based on the questions, which I think is really pretty cool. You can download the results, you can print the results, or you could just trash it. I'm going to go ahead and end the game. So you can see that a couple days ago, we did a mixed number fractions, and we did that live. I did that live with a group of participants. There were 4 players, and their accuracy was 86%. If I click on it, it will show me what their scores were, what the questions were, and an overview of all the questions, so which ones they struggled with. This quiz didn't have any standards tagged to it, so there's nothing in that area. And again, I could delete it, print it, or download it. So up here, it shows me the number of questions and how many attempts there were, and that we played it live. If we wanted to create a new quiz, this part's really pretty neat. So I could type in my own questions. So we will name this quiz using fractions. And I'm going to call this, say, 3rd grade math. Actually, I'm going to name it other. It's a little higher than 3rd grade. So I could enter in my own questions by clicking multiple choice, checkbox, fill in the blank, poll, open-ended, any of those. Or I can use this awesome tool called Teleport. Now, what it's doing in the Teleport is it is searching all of the quizzes within Quizizz to find questions or topics that are the same, and I can add those questions into my quiz, so I don't have to recreate the wheel. So this one looks really good. Reduce 6/15. Okay, I like that one. I'm going to simplify 5/12. That sounds good. And let's look at this next one, reducing fractions. That's a 6th grade. Okay, we're going to go down to this one that says 3rd through 5th grade. A fraction is in simplest form when the numerator and denominator. Okay, I like this one, sort of a language explanation of what a simplest form is, which is not equivalent to 3/4. That's another great one. So I'm up to 4 questions right now, and I can see that over here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to be good with 4 today. So if I'm done, I can click Finish Quiz. Then it'll ask me to drop a picture in. So let's see. Not sure what this is a picture of. Let's see. That's a funny background. We can do that one. The language is English from grades. Let's do 3rd through 5th. Who can see this? And I can change it so it's not public. I can say it's private. It's only for me. But it's always great to share quizzes that you create because everyone's sharing them with everyone, and you may find one that you really like. So I recommend sharing them, but for these purposes, I'm just going to keep it private. After I save it, it will always give me the option to share it with another instructor. I can either look at the other sharing options, or I can just skip that. So now it'll take me back to my quiz. So if I wanted to play this live, assign it as homework or as practice, I could do that. So those are kind of the basics of Quizizz. Poke around, search for Quizizz, make your own quiz, check it out, and let me know what you think or if you have any additional questions.